expression from that expression map. So, okay, you know what are the characteristics of the expression map. You know how to train that expression map. But do you know what are the features of the expression map that we are giving as input towards the network? When it was a dog, it was the simplest example. The inputs were 4 legs, or ferocity, or size of the length of the body, these things, no. But when it is used for recognizing our expression, facial expression, so the input features should be something that is able to differentiate between two expressions. Is it? So, many different types of input can be given. First one example is optical flow and image gradient based features. Second one can be expression intensity, texture of the face, facial shape or facial structure, these things. So, okay, this is, we should, I guess, know about the facial muscles that are responsible or whose movements create different facial expressions before we go into how to learn facial expressions. Okay, when we laugh, this muscle, zygomaticus major, and to some extent the muscle zygomaticus minor. These two muscles are responsible when we laugh. That is, these are responsible for pulling your lip corners upwards obliquely. Okay, and suppose when you're sad, how do you express sadness? Lip corners go downwards, right? And your chins move up, something like this. So the lip corners go downward using this muscle, depressor angularis, and the chin is pulled upwards using this muscle mentalis. Similarly, when you show disgust, nose goes upwards and upper lip goes upwards. Those are controlled by this muscle nasalis and this muscle levator labial superioris, like this. And the eyebrows, obviously, this eyebrow is controlled by this muscle corrugator. Okay, let me tell you one more interesting thing. We do lie when we talk, right? We do lie when we talk, sometimes. We lie when we talk. Sometimes. Do we lie when we express through facial expressions? Sometimes. So, are you able to differentiate between spontaneous expression, that is the true expressions, and the false expressions? Is it possible? Okay, I agree that you may not.
It's quite difficult.
Yeah, it's possible, but quite difficult. Any clue?
Means we should minutely observe on the facial expression.
Okay, I'm giving you one example. Smiling is the best thing, right? And smiling face looks the best. So whenever we click a photo, we smile. So okay, there are many different kinds of smiles. When one incumbent is there, you look your friend, you greet your friend, you give a smile. That smile involves only your lip corner. That lip corners go upward. Simple. But it does not involve your eyes. Eyes speak the truth, right? So this is a false smile. You're just greeting the person. You are not actually happy. But when you are actually happy, then your eyes participate. In that case, this muscle, orbicularis oculi, that participate, and that is spontaneous. Participation is spontaneous. So when you try to look at someone, and when the person is smiling, don't look at his or her lips, look at his eyes and see whether the eyes are smiling or not. If the eyes are smiling, the person is actually happy. And this information was first decoded by a person called Dushin. So that's why this smile is called Dushin smile. The real smile is called Dushin smile. Okay, there's one more type of smile, just the opposite. When the person is not at all happy, in fact, he is depressed. Okay, a recent research that was published in IEEE Transaction on Automatic Face and Gesture Recognition 2013, that was carried out by a group of researchers in the University of Pennsylvania. They said that when a person is depressed, the kind of smile he shows is a stressed smile. Now, lip corner does not go upwards; it is stressed and produces dimples on the cheeks. So there are many types of smiles. There is just not just smile and laughter and sadness. In fact, each of the category has many subcategories, and each of those subcategories correspond tells you a particular emotional state of your mind. So, anyways, that will take one more lecture class. Anyways, so what we here wish to do, we wish to capture the movement of these muscles, in which direction, by how much the muscles, which muscle is moving. That does tell us what type of expression it is. So for that we are using optical flow. Do you know anything about optical flow? Any idea what is optical flow? None? Optical flow is a tool. It's a very known tool. If you Google it, you can get many tutorials on this. So in short terms, suppose you have got one video. Video is nothing but sequence of frames. When one region is moving from one portion to other portion of the frame between two consecutive frames, that movement is captured by optical flow. So optical flow at a particular pixel will tell you the magnitude and the direction of movement of that pixel between two consecutive frames. Clear? So suppose here we have got one example where the girl is kind of surprised, and suppose we take this portion, this window, and this window is enlarged here, so we can see the optical flow projected on some of the pixels. It shows the direction and the magnitude by which each pixel has moved. Okay, so the angles of this optical flow can be from 0 degree to 360 degree. So we quantize this angle into 8 directions from at an interval of 45 degree. Okay, then we find how many optical flows fall in each of the beams for a given region. Clear? So then we get a frequency count. This frequency count is called histogram. So we get a histogram of optical flow where each beam corresponds to a particular group of directions for each of the region. Clear? Then we do that for each of the blocks. We have divided here one phase into some blocks, some equal blocks, and for each of the blocks we have drawn one such histogram, and then we concatenate the histogram one after the other and get a final feature vector. So this is our feature vector that will go as input to the two-dimensional neural network that we were talking about. So this was the neural network, two-dimensional neural network. Here we had 3 inputs in the previous example, but if there are say n number of beams here in this feature vector, then the number of inputs to this network will be n, not 3. So this will go as input to this network, and we have gone through the learning process. So using this inputs from many examples and using the learning process, iterative learning process, this network will be able to learn your facial expression. Now this is how ultimately the two-dimensional neural network looks after learning. We have considered a 27 cross 27. In the previous example, we had considered 3 cross 4. For the real life application, we have considered a 27 cross 27 neural network, and each of the point here is a neuron, representative of neuron. And we can see some clusters here. For joy, this is a cluster, and for surprise, this is the cluster. For disgust, so for each of the expression, we have got one cluster. And does this conform to the requirement of a neural network being self-organizing map? What was the requirement? What was the main characteristic of a neural network being self-organizing map? You just told me. You told me.
The neurons performing the same kind of function, they reside together.
Right. That's the main characteristic for a neural network to be a self-organizing map. So, is that criteria satisfied here? Two neurons who are sitting close to each other are representing same expression. So the criteria is satisfied here. Again, from a broad aspect. Can you tell me beyond doubt whether a person is disgusted or angry? The expression for disgust or anger is similar, no? Is it? Again, you cannot differentiate. You cannot say in categorical model whether a person is happily surprised. When it is happily surprised, you cannot say he is happy or you cannot say he is surprised. That is, happiness and surprise many times occur at the same time. Similarly, fearness and surprise also occur at the same time, right? So they should sit close to each other in the network. And see, that's what's happening. This cluster is for disgust and this cluster is for anger. They are sitting close to each other because they are very much similar in appearance. Similarly, surprise sits close to fear and happiness, joy. So this is not a symmetric diagram. This is actual experiment result that we carried out in our lab. Okay? We had used consolidated database. This is a freely available online database of facial expressions that contains facial expressions of 290 people showing 6 basic expressions. Any question? We have got 10 minutes left. Any question? You do not have any questions. Come on, that is you are not getting what is going on. If I was in your place, I would have fired questions after questions. Okay, if you don't know any question, there are 12 options. Either you did not get anything or you got everything. Which one I should assume? Got everything? Sorry? Know what?
Actual
Okay, the
examples. Actually, this is it was the example of image subject. So any other examples are there?
Yeah, many examples are there. First one was for this one was visualization. You can use the same. Okay, you tell me for what other thing it can be used. Discriminating between voices, whether it's your voice or whether it's his voice. Discriminating between languages. Okay. So whatever your visual cortex or your hearing portion, that is portion of the cortex that is responsible for hearing, whatever they do, that kind of things can be done by this. That depends only on the type of feature you use. And learning process is same for all the type of activities. Okay, what was your question?
Mostly, as you have said that I use facial expressions. We can take some information and we can set results. But is it possible every time to predict exact results? What is the efficiency of the system?
No, it's not always possible to predict the exact.
Because some people can hide also. They can hide quite intelligently. So in those cases, like lie detectors and all these things, these are also not 100% efficient. So what is the efficiency of your system?
Okay, let me tell you first one thing. You are saying some people can intelligently hide things. Hiding means they are not expressing, right? Don't laugh. They are not expressing, and this system is not detecting your emotion. It's detecting only your expression. So if you are hiding, it won't detect. If you are showing, it will detect. It's not emotion detector, it's expression detector. Emotion is something that goes beyond your mind, no? It's not expressed actually. So it only detects expression. And then too, it's not 100% correct. Because we humans do it, come on. Just I said, I cannot tell you beyond doubt whether the person is actually angry or disgusted. There's just a faint line that differentiates between anger and disgust. So if we humans can do error, so the process, that mimicking human process, can do error too. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, the question that I was expecting from you guys was, how did you label each of these notes? Why didn't you ask me? You know the characteristic, you know how to learn the thing, but how did I label these notes? How I know that this particular node is responsible for joy? How do I know? Any idea? I told you this is not symmetric diagram. This is actual experimental result carried out in our lab. So how did I know that this particular neuron is for joy?
You test.
Yeah, I tested it, but how?
You input some known expression and then we see the neurons which are acting.
Right. Did you get that? Okay, anyways. Take this example. The inputs are going through this to all the neurons equally. Right? Now each neuron has got some weights and memorization is equal to the value of the weights here. So the neuron, we feed the neuron, we know it's this feature is for happiness because it's training phase. We know this feature is happiness. It goes to the input of all the neurons and compares itself to the weight vector of all the neurons. And the neuron that has the minimum distance between the corresponding weight vector and the feature input is the winner. Okay, so that neuron is leveled with the level of this input. Actually, that's not that much simple because suppose one input is coming, says that input corresponds to happiness and that maps to a particular neuron, say neuron A. And again one input is coming and that is say surprised. Person is happily surprised. And so when that input goes, that again there is a possibility it can map to the same neuron A. So previously I said it is happy, then we are saying it is happily surprised or surprised. So there is a possibility of conflict, no? And we have to resolve that conflict. And what's the process? This is democracy. Go for voting. When there are two candidates in an election, then the people do vote and the person who gets the maximum vote becomes the Mantri minister, right? Here's the same thing. There are a number of inputs. For each neuron, some people are voting for 6 of the expressions. The expression for a particular neuron, the expression that gets the maximum number of votes is the level of that neuron. Clear? This is how we level each of the neurons. Now I will like to show you one demonstration. Again, this is not any made up thing, this is experimental result. And before demonstrating, let me tell you there are some windows. So this is our self-organizing map that is labeled with some expression, and I guess now we know what these labels mean, what each of this color or shape mean. Is it clear? What does this portion stand for? For which expression is it? For which expression is this portion? Loudly.
Disgust.
This portion?
Neutral.
Neutral. This one?
Surprise.
Joy.
This?
Fear.
Anger.
There are 2 clusters for angles. Now you know what each portion represents. Now we have one window here. This window, when I will start the video, will show one video that will show faces displaying different expressions, many different expressions randomly. Okay, and this is the window. Here we have got 6 beans, and first one is for happiness, then surprise, disgust, fear, anger, and sadness. And the percentage, this is a mixed, this may be a mixed expression. So one may be 30% happy and rest 70% is surprised, like that. So the percentage of each of these expressions, in each of these basic expressions in this video will be shown here in the form of a bar diagram. So let us see this video then. Oh, okay. one more thing. As this is a video, this is changing its expression rate from neutral to expression to another expression. So this the big red triangle will show the position of the expression in the expression map. When it is when it is almost neutral, so the triangle is on the neutral portion. When it will be happy, it will go towards happy. It is expected that it will go towards happy. When it is showing surprise, it will go towards surprise or like that. Okay, it will move. The triangle, this red triangle will show the position of this expression in this expression map. Okay, let's start. Happiness. Again, happiness. Surprise. You can notice one more thing, that when the surprise, when we are showing surprise, the intensity of the expression is from very low to very high, right? So depending on that intensity of expression, the position of this triangle depends. Like when it is showing neutral, it will be somewhere here. When it is a low intensity surprise, it will be somewhere on the boundary of the cluster representing surprise. But it is when it is a high intensity surprise, then it will be somewhere in the middle of the cluster. So middle portion of the cluster represents high intensity, and as we go towards the boundary, it represents low intensity expression. Hope you are able to recognize each of the expressions. Discuss fear, anger, sadness, any question?
Software used
Smart
code.
Software we have used MATLAB. You can also use C or whatever language you wish to use. And the only thing is you have to go through this type of algorithms. We are lazy people, so we use MATLAB systems. So we are almost done, and time is also over. Okay, these are the applications. What if our computers are able to recognize expression? Okay, it's very exciting. Okay, our computers are able to understand our emotions or recognize our expressions. But what's the practical use? क्या करना है? चार्ट डालना है क्या? These are written here. Come on, देख के तो बोल ही सकते हो. What are the uses? Have you heard about human-computer interaction? Do you like to watch Discovery? So, when I was in college, I used to see one program on Discovery that. Sorry, Sonal, is it okay if I take 5 more minutes? Okay, so when I was in college, I used to see a program on Discovery that showed that one computer is in the background and one person is standing in front of the computer and doing some gestures or pronouncing some words, and here he is not using any keyboard or mouse, and the computer is able to understand what command he is pronouncing. He is saying, okay, start, and the computer starts. And whatever he is saying, the computer is doing that. The gesture he is showing, through this gesture, the computer is taking the orders. He is not required to use the keyboards or the mouses. So, for this type of interaction, suppose when you, okay, we like to interact with people, not with say when we are going through some emotional phase. we like to talk with our friends, not to a computer, because friends understand our emotions. Similarly, if we can build a computer that understands our emotions, then it will be very easier for us to interact with the computer. So this is one of the applications. See, in the tourist places these days, if some computers get installed that give you some directions or some tell you the historical relevance of that place, right? So when those computers are more advanced and are able to capture your emotions and interact with you depending on your emotion, then those will be even more better, more human-like. So that is one of the examples. And these days, the tutoring, automatic tutoring systems, online tutoring systems are in the market. If that computers, online tutoring systems are able to recognize your expression, whether you are attentive to the lecture or whether you are understanding or not, if it is able to understand these things, then it will be able to teach you in a more better way, right? And the thing I am most interested in is lie detection in criminology. And I have already given you some clues of how to differentiate between true things and false spaces. And then there are many such things. If you are interested in lie detection, how to detect lies using expressions, then you can contact me later on offline, and you can mail me. Again, that may take one more hour, so just leave it right now. So this type of applications are there, and obviously the mother of facial expression is psychology. As I said, the psychologists or people like Darwin first did experiments on facial expressions, and later on computer scientists took this on from the last one decade only. So it's a very new to computer science domain. So the mother is psychology. So this type of when we do things automatically, then these automated things can help psychologists to diagnose their patients. That's all. And okay, as I said that this is the results that I showed to you. Those are actual experimental results. So this whole experiment or this research was published in IEEE International Conference on Facial Expression and Gesture Recognition in last year, 2013. And this conference is, according to Microsoft ranking, the 4th best conference in the world in computer vision and pattern recognition field, and the best conference in the world for face and facial expression analysis things. I guess you have no question. If you have, you can. Or any suggestion. Anyways, thank you very much for your kind attention. Now next speaker is Sonak. Sonak, thank you for giving me 5 minutes.